Good morning and welcome to Inside Texoma. I'm Melissa Kakarika, and right now I'm joined by Chris Cunningham, who's kind of serving as the coordinator for this year's Safe Kids Halloween event. It's going to be coming up October 31st at the J.S. Bridwell Ag Center. It's an event we do every year here at News Channel 6. And good morning, Chris.
Good morning.
So tell us a little bit about this year's Safe Kids event.
Probably our biggest event of the year as far as people are concerned. We'll have at least, it has been going on for years, but at least 3,000 children will come through that line. For the whole night. We start at 5:30 on Halloween night, and it's open up to special needs from 5:30 to 6, and then open to the general public from 6 to 8.
And do we always try to do it on Halloween? It seems that way.
We try to get as close as possible, but yes, it's been on Halloween several times.
So it seems like a good thing that Halloween fell on a Friday this year.
It's perfect this time, so it's a great, safe place to bring the kiddos out, and I've certainly brought my kids out there, and it's just a great place to be.
Yeah, so if you've never been before, it's pretty much a trick-or-treating event, right?
Absolutely, and it's so condensed either. You don't even have to worry about knocking on one person's house not to get an answer. There are several vendors that will be stacked up all the way around, and every single vendor will be giving away something. Of course, there'll be displays there and things like that.
And now it's going to be at the J.S. Bridwell Ag Center again. That is a move we made from the Howard Johnson Hotel last year. We're doing it again this year. Talk a little bit about the decision to move to the Ag Center and keep it at the Ag Center.
Well, we kind of outgrew the venue from before, and it was a great place to have it at the Howard Johnson's before, but we just needed more space. We had more vendors. I think back then it held 35-ish amount of vendors that could participate, but last year we had well over 40. This year we're already over 40, so we just need the space, and we still have room to grow out there. We have the capability of having maybe 60 or 70 vendors out there this year, but it looks like we're about at 40 right now, and we'll keep on growing.
Yeah, so certainly it seems like we're going to keep it at the Ag Center in the future, hopefully.
I'm pretty sure that's the way it's going to be. It's kind of creepier out there, too. It's not like a hotel.
Yeah, and now you mentioned 40 vendors. Talk a little bit about who is going to be out there, who people can expect to see.
Well, several different nonprofits. I even saw that Pepper the Clowny and Tutti Frutti were going to be out there, which is they're always a pleasure to be around. But like I said, several nonprofits that are going to be out there, Catholic charities. There are also some for-profit businesses that will be represented out there. I think Pueblo Boxing was one of them. I have no idea what they're going to be doing. We generally don't ever know what type of setup that they're going to have in their individual areas, but people do tend to decorate. They love Halloween, and especially when we're catering to children like we are, it's just such a great event, and people get so involved with making that event look great.
Yeah, so it is very independent for the vendors. They could have activities or anything, right?
Pretty much. They kind of limit the amount of activities that they have per booth or per area, because once again we're shuffling at least 3,000 children through, and that's not accounting adults or guardians.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're talking 3,000 plus children come through this event, so we've got to get them all through there in about 2.5 hours. So not much to stick around each individual booth, but they'll be full of candy when they leave that area.
Yeah, they are told to bring lots of candy, right? At least 1,000 pieces. Is that right?
No, I mean, if you're going to feed every child something that's going to come there, that's 3,000 pieces per vendor that's going to be out there bringing candy in.
So you mentioned kind of bringing everybody through. I know this year might be a little more streamlined. I mean, talk about some of the changes that people might expect to see this year in the way things are set up.
Absolutely. Well, last year we had, we switched the venue, so once again, there's a learning process, a curve to go through there, and we lined up everybody to go up and down and kind of in the same aisle. Well, that kind of bottlenecked at the entrance and at the turnaround point. So we streamlined it a little bit where no one will be running into each other this year. It's just a complete, total walk around, walk through. And I'm kind of excited to see our future plans, not for this year, but for plans going forward, because there's some space there that can be used for possibly a little Halloween house or something like that.
So you expect it to maybe be a little more efficient this year. Maybe if you came last year and you were
Absolutely.
like, oh, wow, this is so crowded. It shouldn't, I mean, it will be crowded, but it should be maybe a little more efficient. Is that what you're saying?
I am saying that. Every year that I've been involved in the deal, there's always a line outside the door waiting to get started. And of course, it's advantageous to get there earlier, because you get there, get out, and then you can still go out and do some trick-or-treating and stuff like that. But if you're at the tail end of that line, it's probably getting towards the later part of the day, and it's going to be a little bit more difficult to get out and go trick-or-treating.
That's true. And now this year we're also doing away with some of the games we did last year. I know last year when I was there, we did a little kind of some beanbag tosses and ring throws and Halloween-themed games like that. as part of this efficiency, we're not going to do that this year. That's correct?
That's right. That's right. And once again, when you have that many people coming through, when you have a thing where people stop and actually pay and pay attention to what's going on in that one area and just stop, it creates a blockade for everybody, and it doesn't move as efficiently as it needs to. And really, we got to be concerned about the public. Once again, we're giving a safe environment for children to come, and we just want to make sure we get them in and out, and they have a good time doing it.
Yeah, and we talked about that number of 3,000. Do you expect that to be even higher than the normal 3,000 this year?
There's really no telling. I wasn't here when we did this, Safe Kids place on a previous weekend. It's usually been on a weeknight because, once again, we try to follow Halloween itself. So this year is my first experience on a Friday night, so I really couldn't tell you. I would expect that we're going to have at least the same amount that we've had before in the past, but I really don't know.
And now you mentioned getting there early. Let's talk a little bit about what people need to know as they're planning for this event in the coming days.
Well, get dressed up, come out, take plenty of pictures. We're going to have tons of people from the station out there, so it's going to be a blast. You can meet the public can meet some of our talent. Hopefully, you'll be out there as well. So that'll be a blast. People can take pictures with you guys. Our team here likes to get dressed up and participate in the whole event. This year, we're going to have, it looks like our squadron that we adopt through at the station will be helping us with our parking lot management this year. So it'll be even more effective outside when you have people who are used to doing and conducting traffic and stuff like that. So I'm excited that our squadron's joining us in that venture. So it's going to be extremely, the reason why we call it Safe Kids is because it's going to be extremely safe. It's a safe environment for families to be in.
Exactly. Now I know the first doors open at 5:30, right, for special needs children?
That's right. And general public at 6 o'clock. So we generally try to get everybody, got to remember 3,000 people between 6 and 8 o'clock that night. So that's a lot of moving, a lot of vendors, a lot of tables. So it's just it'll be just a fun thing.
So probably the most important thing is just get there early and get yourself in line, right?
That's right.
All right, Chris, well, we're going to talk a lot more about Safe Kids Halloween coming up, so make sure you stay tuned to Inside Texoma. We're going to look back to some favorite memories for years past and talk a little more about why we do this as a station and just why it is so safe. So please stay with us on Inside Texoma this morning. Welcome back to Inside Texoma this morning. I'm Melissa Kakarika, joined by News Channel 6 Chris Cunningham. We're looking ahead to the annual Safe Kids Halloween event. This year's event is going on Halloween, October 31st at the J.S. Bridwell Ag Center. Doors open at 5:30 for special needs kids and 6 o'clock to the public. Goes till 8 o'clock. We're talking a little bit about the history of the event, talking about why we're doing this. So why, as a station, does News Channel 6 want to do this?
Well, our brand is, we're always looking out for you. And that's one of the things that we've decided to continue year after year after year. I mean, we're 19 years down the road here and still having the same event. It's morphed over time, but once again, we're trying to provide a situation that is once again safe for all involved. There are so many different things that people can do on Halloween, but this is just one real great safe place. There'll be a lot of people there, so I mean it's a public event. It's open to just anybody and everybody. So once again, just to fit alongside with how our station believes and taking care of the public and trying to provide the best things possible out there. That's the reason why we're doing it.
And it seems like there is a need for it in our community. I mean, obviously you can go to a number of neighborhoods to trick or treat, but it seems like a lot of parents do worry about safety, so there is a need for it.
Absolutely. I spoke with a ton of parents. Unfortunately, I wasn't out there last year, but I've been out there previous years. And I can tell you the amount of adults that I've spoken with just thanking us profusely over and over and over for providing that type of safe environment. Because, I mean, you're right. There are a ton of parents out there that are concerned. I'm one of those concerned parents. Mm-hmm. So I don't want my children going outdoor knocking door to door just because you really don't know what kind of door you're going to stumble upon. And it's just a great venue. Once again, just safe.
Yeah, exactly. The people are going to be safe. The candy's going to be safe. I mean, just all around, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the vendors that we have that are coming in, a lot of them are returning year over year over year because they love the event and they like to be a part of something where they can provide, once again, a safe environment. I can't say that enough because that's why we call it Safe Kids. And we have sororities that'll join us this year. We have a lot of nonprofits. We have a lot of for-profit businesses, lots of reputable types of entities, I guess you can say, out there providing the candies because they all bring them. And once again, it's just, it's not really strangers. These people are involved in the community, so they're in the public eye, and it's just good to get everybody involved.
Now, you mentioned being a parent yourself, so what's it been like to bring your kids? What has been their reaction and your reaction?
Well, it's been fun because my oldest daughter, for instance, going through the line, she's like, I could get this much candy, knocking around the neighborhood. So it was just so fast and just easy, I guess you can say. And some of the displays that are out there are pretty cool. I heard someone was talking last week, at the end of last week, about having a coffin out there of some sort. So I don't know exactly what that means, but people will get out there and decorate their areas, and who knows? I mean, just who knows? We've had inflatables out there in years past. We've had just interesting things to look at. And once again, I always see it's exciting, and my children think it's exciting to see all the different types of costumes that are out there from all the kids in the area, and even adults, they dress up.
I know. I remember some of the costumes last year were just so adorable. I went as a witch last year, so you see so much. You see so many little kids. You see so many adults. It just seems like it's a great kind of way to bring the community together on Halloween and get into the Halloween spirit. Is that something that you noticed at our previous events as well?
Absolutely. Just once again, everybody's getting involved. Our station gets involved, the public gets involved, and I just enjoy seeing the kids out there in the parking lot. They're getting antsy about when do we get inside, and quite honestly, the wait's not that long. I mean, the way we had it streamlined before last year at Bottleneck just a little bit, but we've got that fixed for this coming year, and it's going to be just in and out. The lines are going to move quick, and I don't expect there to be very long waits when you see the lines outside.
And it seems like it's a lot of fun just as a station for us. I mean, from our perspective, talk about what it's been like to do some planning for it.
It's been a lot of work, but it is well worth it. Once again, this is probably our largest attended event when you consider parents and guardians and siblings, older siblings, teenagers will be out there as well. They're really not interested in going through the lines like the younger children are, but I can say several thousands of people will go through those doors and in a very short period of time and just get a ton of candy, and it's just nice. It doesn't matter what we do on our end, as far as the work's concerned, because once we see the smiles on the kids' faces and the public out there, it's just a great event for us.
Now, you mentioned there's a lot of work going into this. This is going to be our last stretch, the last final days going into this. So what type of preparations are going to be going on in the days before Halloween as we work up to Safe Kids Halloween?
Well, we're working newer people, newer employees into the mix this year. So taking over the coordination of the event this year has been a little bit of a challenge. I coordinate other events for the station, but this one has been a little bit more of a challenge because I have not coordinated this event before. I had to go off of previous notes and talk to the previous people who have coordinated it. So working in different people within the station to get their hands dirty, so to speak, as far as working on the event. My part has been mostly just trying to make sure that everything flows efficiently, that we have the safest possible environment. We, for example, going out to the location last week to take a look, we modified where people were going to be coming in because the sidewalk had buckled because of the drought. And so instead of stepping off a 6-inch sidewalk to go into a building, we moved the entrance around the door, around the corner, so that people have, once again, a safe place to be in, a safe environment to be in.
So at what point will things actually start getting set up down there at the Ag Center?
It starts as soon as tomorrow. I was down once again at the Ag Center last week, just making sure everything was going to flow properly, and spoke with the powers that be out there, and everything just looks like it's going to be great. We have the potential to set up a maximum of 80 tables. So each vendor will take anywhere from 1 to 3 tables, and those tables represent about a 10-foot area. So if they're taking 3, that's a good sign for me because once again, that's a 30-foot area that they're going to be decorating and putting things up. They may not necessarily use the tables, but just that whole area will be decorated right then. So the vendors will get out there on Friday this week and actually set up that day. So I'll be out there with the vendors as early as 8 o'clock in the morning on Friday. You can find me in a pair of shorts and probably a T-shirt that day because it is the Ag Center and it's during the day.
Exactly. So definitely a lot of work, but as you mentioned, definitely worth it. And we do, of course, want to mention there will be a lot of News Channel 6 people there, right?
Absolutely. You're going to be there.
I'm going to be there.
You're going to be there. I'm going to be there. But plenty of our talent's going to be there. Hopefully our weather guys over there in the Weather Center will be there as well. And it'll just, it's just going to be a blast. We're going to be probably doing some live shots from the event, which is pretty cool. I like it when we interview the people from the public. I'm not in the news department, so it's pretty cool when I see people from the public on our news just to see what their take is on the event.
Yeah, so just overall, it's a great event, both for us to be a part of and for the community, right? I mean, wrap it up for us.
Fun all the way around. Plenty of excitement, plenty of things to look at, lots of children, lots of vendors, lots of candy, which is huge. And you said it best right there. I mean, we have such a tremendous blast putting this event on, and we wouldn't have done it for 19 years had we not wanted to do it.
Exactly. Well, coming up, we're going to talk to News Channel 6, Chris Horgan and Ashley Fitzwater a little bit about some of their favorite memories, kind of what they're looking for out of the event this year, maybe some of their favorite costumes. So we definitely want to make sure you stay tuned for that. Chris, thanks so much for coming on to tell us about the ins and outs of what you can expect this year.
Well, thanks for having me.
We'll be right back on Inside Texoma.